undead. They're all messed up. All messed up.
You wouldn't give her that flower, would you?
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Next month, man. Days Gone remaster.
Oh.
Yes, 5 Days Gone remaster with new stuff in it too, apparently.
Okay.
New modes and stuff. It's my favorite game ever. Love that game.
That game deserved a sequel, and I'm disappointed that Sony dropped the ball on them because it was heading in the right direction at the end and explaining more about the zombie apocalypse and everything that was going on. And they just were like, oh, it's not going to be a success. And bullshit, that game was awesome. Like, especially when you run out of gas and there's a horde right behind you. It's
That's
like,
cool.
oh, hell no. It's the intensity, you know?
So they canceled it, but they're like, it's way more popular than they thought. And maybe with a remaster, we get the sequel now.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe people jump on. And if you already own it, the remaster's only $10.
That's pretty sweet too. But it's multiplayer, isn't it?
No.
No, it
I don't
isn't.
know.
Dag nabbit. But maybe
One player.
the sequel would be.
You know, that's what they should have done because just to carry on the video game thing is they remastered The Thing from 2002, and that was a thing. That was a thing that they should have made 2-player. They could have been a cash cow on that to add like a 2-player or a 4-player multiplayer mode, and then of course one of you are the Thing and just let loose.
All right, buckle up, nerds. Listen to this idea, right? Among Us, but The Thing. Like that new 3D Among Us they've got running around and stuff like that. I think that one's called I can't remember the name of it. But it's all over TikTok. But to do it with The Thing and nobody knows who's infected, who's the Thing. Just start printing money, baby.
Oh, I like that.
That would be cool.
That would be
Like
be
that.
awesome. Like maybe like do further and more like the Friday the 13th, where there's like little missions that you have to accomplish. Like
That was like
start
the
the
original.
generator
Yeah.
and like do certain things, and then you definitely have to have a Mac ready.
I have to pause you. So my wife's trying to make the frosting for my kids. You're gonna be in the podcast, Kim. Sorry. So we were worried that she was trying to make brown, like chocolate frosting, look green, and I said it's gonna look like shit. What does it taste like?
I mean, it tastes delicious. It just looks like diarrhea.
Does
You
it
get
taste-
past
does
it.
it
It tastes kind of like diarrhea too. I think she might have pulled a fast one on me, guys.
it looked good though.
It's chocolate
It
frosting.
looked green.
Yeah, it looked like baby poop to me.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be the one too.
So it's basically the Jackass skit when the guy's he's going, it's gross, but he's going through the garbage and he's got the diaper, but it's like chocolate
Yeah.
pudding. And everyone's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's so good and delicious.
There's the dude on Instagram. I don't know if I started sending him to John. I don't know if I sent him to you, but he raps about eating poop. Like they
No.
roll up. They roll up on him, and he's just like sitting there, and he turns around and just rolls right into rapping about eating poop. Oh my god, we got to get back on topic, boys. This is getting a little squirrely. But damn,
Already.
yeah, I know. It's only 4 minutes into the pod. Jeez. Well, today, guys, this is Xenomania episode 9. No, I think this is. Oh no, this is.
Oh, no.
we're rolling it back. This is episode 8.
Episode 8.
This is episode 8 on Reelected.
Just in time for
Yes.
President's Day.
Yeah, my favorite holiday as of late, President's Day.
Well, I'm going to say this. Reelected had that B-movie goodness where it was so bad that you just love it. It reminded me of my college days of filming in the basement of DCC, like our like films and stuff,
Yeah,
in which you just have that passion to be like, I want to be something. I want to be a Robert Rodriguez or a Quentin Tarantino or John Carpenter or Wes Craven, and they put a lot of effort, and I give kudos. That's what made me enjoy the movie so much, is that they tried, and it's something you don't see a lot nowadays. I feel like with current horror that's in that B movie genre, it's
Yeah.
like we realize it's a B movie, and it's like giving up so early, and these guys they went for it. Especially George Washington, that's like my favorite B movie villain, because he turned into a James Bond villain at
Can I
the
just
end.
pause you real
You
quick,
sh-
just so the listeners understand what he just said? George Washington turned into one of his favorite B movie villains. All right. So to give you an idea what this movie is like, all right, Ryan, roll tape.
He was just missing the white Persian cat. It just gave me the Blofeld vibes. It was a good recommendation, John, as always. It's just, it hits. It hits.
How'd you find this?
It found me.
Another one of them found you?
I don't even know, but so it came out in 2020, and I feel like that's probably why and how I found it, because of how bad most of 2020 was. Hollywood shut down. There's nothing coming out. It's like the stuff that's coming out is stuff that you can make at home, like that post movie that was like the Zoom call movie with the
Right.
killer in one of their house, and like, stuff like that. But then they like went back and got stuff like Reelected and put that out too. So it was just like, oh, there's nothing new to watch. What's this movie?
Gotcha.
I mean, the logline sells it. I mean, there's something evil in the woods, something horrifying, something gruesome, something American. It's just like I'm sold. And what the beer they're drinking is Americana beer. It's just like every trope that you would think of 4th of July, just put into a whole thing. And the character Nate truly represents what people think Americans are, as Angela is really, I guess, the true version of what Americans are.
I think they're the split personality of what America is.
Okay.
True.
You have the gung ho patriot and the sort of, I don't want to say realist, but the more pessimistic view of what we are.
The
I'd say
old
more
school
pessimistic.
reserved America, the pre-FDR America, where we were like, we're not getting involved in foreign wars. And then Nate's the guy who's like in the meme with the American flag and the shotgun while a tornado's coming at him, like pissing eagles. Yeah.
Definitely who he is. The frat boy patriotism gone wild.
So brief synopsis for the listeners, because we do this to them all. Nobody's seen Reelected, I can guarantee it. So the movie,
We have.
yeah, well, the movie involves zombies ish, zombie presidents, and
Who can talk?
Who can talk.
talking zombies for this one. All right.
So a group of friends go on a 4th of July holiday camping trip, and through foolishness and drunkenness, accidentally perform a spell that raises the corpses of 3 former presidents
As one does, yeah.
as zombies. So you get George, you get Abraham Lincoln, and you get Andrew Jackson, which is an interesting touch.
Yeah.
It fits because part of the ritual is them throwing the bills on the Constitution that's soaked in beer.
That Americana.
There's echoes of January 6th all over this. I'm just gonna say it out loud, guys.
You should see the guacamole station. It was just an avocado.
An avocado in a blender.
God damn. All right. So then we have our protagonist and deuteragonist, which would be Nate and Angela. You figure out which one's which. And who turns out to be the true badass, though?
I would say Angela.
Yeah.
I gotta go with
it's got that
Angela.
written all over it. Just based on everything.
Angela's got, she's got more of the badass. Neither of them is really full badass, but
Yeah.
neither is not. either.
Yeah.
Angela has more mental capability to process what's going on, whereas Nate spends a lot of the movie sort of like,
He's like that dumb blonde stereotype where it's like something's just running, but there's no one in there controlling it. Yeah.
Second
Oh yeah,
time you
over
slandered my
time.
people openly.
What? I'm a dumb blonde. Well, not dumb blonde, but I am blonde. I'm just bald right now at the moment.
It's the dumb blonde trope again. They used it with Nate though instead of Angela.
Yeah,
yep.
and it
neither of them are
works.
blonde. So
Yeah.
Well, Nate's wearing a hat the entire time.
America. Nothing more American than a
Exactly.
baseball cap, baby. Is it a trucker cap at least?
Oh, sadly not.
Ah.
But I was hoping these kids from 2020, making this films, they should have thrown the song from Team America. Like America, fuck. Just would have been great.
it would have been a nice touch, but that would have the rights for that song probably would have been 10 times the budget of the movie.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Fair. But they did get away with the opening where it looks like the old school MGM, but instead of a lion, it was a cat. I thought that was a cool touch. Just that.
They've had that before, where they have just the tiny kitten in there. I've seen that in a few movies. For Metro Goldwyn Mayer. For those of you muggles who don't know what MGM stands for. But so what was I gonna say? The inciting event, we've got the spell and everything. What's the carnage like? How many people these presidents taken down?
Takes out poor Jennifer in the beginning. Andrew Jackson rips her arms off.
Nice.
Or arm off.
Which he's so
Jennifer
mad.
sounds like she would have been a blast at that party too. She sounds like a cool party chick.
That cowboy thing, I wanted to know what the cowboy thing was the entire time. That's all they talked about. She does this cool cowboy trick. It was like, what is this cowboy trick?
Yeah.
It's a lot of riding. It's a lot of riding right there.
Holy hell.
What is it 4? Is it only 4? Is that our total
Um,
body count?
Well, we got Jennifer. Then we have
Jennifer,
Evan gets,
Marcus,
yep, Evan.
Evan. Evan's a chode, by the way.
Oh yeah, he is.
Evan is the grown-up frat boy.
Yeah.
Who went from frat boy to like crypto bro, maybe.
Right.
Crypto bro date rapist kind of feel.
He looks like a wannabe Frog Brother from the Lost Boys.
Oh yeah.
Like Corey Feldman. I'm forgetting the other actor's names, like long lost brother. Just he with the red bandana. And I'm happy you mentioned that, John, because like it was very uncomfortable as like they're in the bed and he's just like, come on, like, let's make out. She's like, I think someone's in trouble downstairs. She's like, let me just put the music on louder. It's like, dude, we get you're trying to be a creep. You are a creep, but it's just going in the wrong direction, man.
Yeah, Mary's getting mauled by zombie presidents screaming downstairs, and Evan's like, let's put the music on. Let me give you a massage.
Yes, I'm a great massagist. What? A great massagist. Well, all right. But she's accepts it, and that's the messed up part. As Nate and Marcus are behind like the counter, they're like, we're just gonna let her take care of it. She'll handle herself. Fighting zombie George Washington. But
At least they had the intention to try to help her. Evan's just like, nah.
Wasn't having it. So Angela seems like she's got the biggest dick in the cast.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Makes sense.
With the fight with Mary, it's a decent fight. I mean, there's a lot of running, but when they have their little interactions, it's pretty good. It's not flawless, but it goes with the script. But I like how the fact is they changed their weaknesses is that they don't like the cold. So like she blasts the AC
Yes,
and
yeah.
zombie George Washington's like freaked out. So which is different for a zombie film. Like it's like they love the heat. They love the heat of the 4th of July.
Nate has some really cool lines, and one of them is in this fight where he's like, George Washington hasn't been reanimated. He's been reelected. He's just got these goofy lines throughout the whole movie. Like the first one when they show up for the party is 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. You fuckers are here to party with me. Which I think I'm saying to everybody when they come over from now on.
That's a baller line.
The impeachment line was good, where he's like, "You've been impeached." It's a good one.
Let's go impeach that motherfucker.
Is that what he said?
Okay.
Regarding like how they deal with them, is it just garden variety zombie killing, holes through heads kind of thing? Is that how they're taking down these presidents, or was it much more involved? Yeah, John's like, no.
No, they ultimately figure out they have to reverse a ritual.
Oh, okay. And how
Which,
do
with
they
the
go
brain
about it?
power of some of these people, take quite a significant amount of time.
An hour and 20 minutes. You know, it took
Entire
them.
movie?
It took them.
It
took them to the end.
it's a pretty significant amount of time to figure out. And Angela just stumbles on it anyway. Like so the cabin they're at is their father. Angela
Right.
and Nate are half siblings.
Okay.
And it's at the father's cabin, and he's got like a desk in the basement. So very Evil Dead. With
Okay.
like all these like, sort of occult writings and learnings, and like it's like a fake constitution, but it's the actual constitution, and there's like a curse on it, and by reading it and putting the money on it, and maybe the beer.
And maybe the beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon,
Maybe the beer.
which is really Americana beer. It's got to be Pabst Blue Ribbon, right?
Americana, made for Americans, according to the
Probably Bud
ingredients
Light.
on the can of beer.
That's what Bud Light is, yeah. But PBR was what was the original before Bud Light stole the show in like 1990, whatever? What was like
I want to
the
say it was.
Schlitz?
I thought it was Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, I thought it was PBR.
Milwaukee's best.
Oh, that stuff goes down like motor oil. Milwaukee's Beast is harsh. It's not as bad as Natty Ice and stuff, but it hurts to drink that stuff.
Pushed.
Bush
Oh,
is like
Busch.
broke Bud Light. Keystone's broke Coors Light. We learned all
Yep.
that by looking at the cans. Like these are the ones that didn't make it out of the factory, right? So get
The
a
worst
30
one
rack
is
of Keystone.
Stewart's. Stewart's is horrible.
Like root beer?
Stewart's. Well, up we have the Stewart's ice cream, so they sell
Yeah.
their own products. And buddy of mine bought their beer. I think it was like $2 for a 6-pack. He was like, "This is a steal," and it was not a steal. It was the worst malt beer you could have ever tasted for
It
two
gave
You
ninety
me
nine.
gotta-
sweetness.
You have to drink like
It's-
40 of them to feel anything.
Dude, that's awesome, actually. The Stewart root beer is no joke though. Stewart root beer, that stuff
know.
slaps. I like that stuff. I've never in a million years would have thought, because Stewart's sprinkled all over New York for those guys listening who aren't New Yorkers and stuff. And they do have their own products. It's a very Vermontish thing, by the way. If you travel up that way, go up through New England, you stop at a gas station and like there's baked goods by Edith in there. And Edith's also in there. Like it's kind of weird.
Archie.
Yeah. Oh, gee, they want more cheddar. Oh, geez, Edith. You hear him smacking her around in the back. And then Rob Reiner starts to cry. Oh, Ma, I'm going to make the Princess Bride someday. Man, All in the Family trumps Sanford and Son, but not by much. All in the Family was it. But if we keep doing
Sanford
this,
and Son.
I might have to go.
you go
I might
Sanford
have
and
to
Son?
go Sanford and Son.
I
Yeah,
loved
man.
Family. Loved All in the
Elizabeth,
Family.
I'm
The
coming.
Jeffersons trumps the Trump. Yeah, Elizabeth, I'm going to. The Jeffersons trumps All in the Family.
Real quick, if we get into it, Jefferson's was from All in the Family.
Spin-off.
And when they crossed over, it took, I think, 5 or 10 episodes until George appeared because he didn't want to meet Archie, and Archie didn't want to meet George because they were technically in the idea of
Racists.
they were both racist. It was
Yeah,
George was
that was the
racist
big
against
joke.
Archie, and Archie. It's so good, good
One of the
stuff.
most brilliant parts of that interaction was I don't know if you saw the episode where the Puerto Rican neighbor moves in, and both George and Archie unite against the Puerto Rican neighbor. That's the end of that big through line of like both of them being racist toward each other, and then finally they both have a common enemy they to unite against. That was good old fashioned racism in general. But it was like a really, if you watch it now, it's a well played joke. It takes a long time for it to land too. It's good.
I'm shocked that they don't show. I mean, I understand why they don't show reruns, but I'm shocked that they don't show reruns
Yeah, it
because
doesn't hold up.
yeah, it's a thin line. It's a very thin line.
Just the intro. How can you get through the intro? The intro to Different Strokes is hard to watch these days too. It's just a camera. It's like a camera roll and a song, and like a ballad playing. But in All in the Family, it's Edith screeching.
And Archie, like the low gruff.
He's just the armchair warrior. But anyway, let's get back to it. If we keep talking about these shows, we're gonna get to one old enough where we're back when Andrew Jackson was around. So, who's the first president to die and reelected?
I would say Abraham. No, not Abraham Lincoln. It's Andrew Jackson. Mary kind of escapes supposedly later on in the film, and they have Nate and Angela tied up, and all of a sudden you just see this big ass firework shoot Andrew Jackson across the yard and explode, and he's the first one to go. But he right before then, Angela messes him up, which I actually appreciate that they used practical effects in this film, which was a nice touch. And it works out not only because it's B movie, but I believe practical effects are better sometimes than CGI.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Most times.
Watch
Oh,
the new
well, yeah.
Jurassic World trailers. Yeah, this is going to be our 40-minute tangent right here. Watch the Jurassic World trailers and stuff like that, and go back to the original Jurassic Park movie and tell me which ones look better. And I guarantee you, most people will say it's the originals.
Well, I mean, we're also now making up dinosaurs featureless.
Xenosaurs. Yeah.
Like the big, yeah. This big new one looks like it has no feet. It's just a blob.
The X-Rex, the Xenorex.
Did we get the Blob? There's a remake that I would actually be excited for if there was a decent director behind it. I could get the Blob, but only practical effects Blob.
The 80s remake of the Blob is actually really good.
Really?
88, right?
Oh,
With
I've seen
Kevin
that
Dillon.
one. Victor. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
I don't have the year on it in me, but
I like that one. Yeah, that one's pretty good. The old man scene in that one actually kind of hit you a little bit. I felt bad for him.
It's the
Caesar collapses.
It's
Sassy man.
disintegration.
Yeah.
I'd be down for a remake though. That one's overdue. If they did it correctly, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Skarsgård is the Blob. Right? That'll work.
You know how you can tell?
of course.
It'll just be a mustache on
Yeah,
this
just
big
or-
blob
It'll
just
have 'em-
hanging right there.
He'll have a mustache and a schlong swinging around.
Somebody mentioned that they
dragging.
gave him the stash
It's a boy blob.
because they didn't want it to look at all like Skarsgård. Somebody said that was why, because he's been in so many things as the A-list monster. It's too much Skarsgård face. People are starting to see Skarsgård. So I was like, that would make sense if they decided to do that for that reason. And apparently from more and more people I'm meeting that have seen it as well, the reception of the mustache isn't negative. It was just a lot. It was very shocking, I guess, when it first was revealed, but Pornstache Orlock lives on.
We'll see. I think I'm gonna watch it this week.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Yeah, you should this week. Treat yourself.
I'm on that same boat with you. I'll be watching it probably tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm curious, excited. Just I want to see what Eggers did, and he's coming out with another film. I think the end of this year called Werewolf or Wolf, which is going to be in
That looks really good.
Werewolf, old dialect English. I am hyped. Even like
Till you have to
reading
sit through that.
subtitles. I am ready. It's such a different interpretation, and to get to oh god, we were just talking about him. Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård. There we go.
Very good.
Yeah, talking about Bill Skarsgård, he reminds me of like what Lon Chaney Sr. was, or Lon Chaney Jr. too, was for Universal. Like he's the modern day version of them because of all the roles he's getting. And I mean, like Lon Chaney Sr., you really didn't know what he looked like. He was the hunchback, he was the master of makeup, the Phantom of the Opera, and same thing with Junior. Like he kind of introduced this mustache and from Son of Dracula because he had a mustache as Dracula in that film before John Carradine, of course. But I feel like Skarsgård has taken that role now, and
He's like the
I mean,
Seacrest, the Ryan Seacrest. For him now. God damn it. Oh shit. Skarsgård. He's not bad either. I'm not really hating on him. It's just he's gonna fuck up. He already did. The Crow was terrible.
yeah,
Yeah, it was bad. That was it, actually.
He basically made the same movie twice because Boy Kills World is The Crow,
okay.
essentially. And it is significantly better than The Crow remake.
The Katana Crow is a bad idea. That was a bad idea.
Boy Kills World, like, if you only saw the trailers, looks goofy as hell and looks like it's going to be so bad. But if you watch it, it's not a great movie, but it is a fun movie.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, anything that connects to the Crow, it's not gonna work. Brandon Lee all day. It's sorry, I'm going on a little tangent, but it's as accurate as what the graphic novel was. Brandon Lee embodied Eric Draven, and the characters were the characters from the book. Everything they've tried. I'll give a shout out to Iggy Pop, cool villain, but doesn't hold up.
Right.
Top dollars,
Top dollar.
the top dollar, top dollar. Him and his
Top
half
dollar.
sister, like in
Dude.
re-elected half sister.
Hey, balls. He's cut her in half. Is that the joke? But damn. Yeah, as far as remakes and stuff go, this Wolf movie is gonna be interesting. Werewolf Wolf movie. There's Brotherhood of the Wolf is the French movie. So we've got a couple of language heavy kind of movies, but if you're going into the old English stuff, what's interesting about that is Old English has like more similarities to German than it does to modern day English sentence structure. So they're going to speak in a way where they can speak forward and backward almost, and it's going to be super annoying to listen to. So I can't wait to see how they make this work. Like, wolf come fast, Pop, kind of thing. It's going to be interesting.
They're all going to talk like Yoda.
Yeah, but that would be cool.
Fast Wolf.
What big eyes you have. Big eyes have you. Anyway. Oh man. Okay, so back to reelected again.
I think this is just how this is going to go.
Probably. Well, it tends to be with these the B movies too, but
I do like the Grindhouse vibe. It has a
Yeah?
Grindhouse vibe to it. I like how the screen is. It's got that little box, the little greeniness. Even after the line you mentioned, John, when he goes, he's been reelected, the title screen pops up. Technically 30 minutes into the film.
that's
But it's-
pretty
Yeah, 30 minutes into the movie, you get the title screen.
That's
just
pretty cool.
pops out. And it's that got cool nostalgia, especially if you love those movies. And you see, like, at least the modern filmmakers are watching, like, the older films and they're getting their history right, or they're trying to at least. Again, try is the big word here because with all their energy that's put into it, you see it, even if it's bad. It's what makes it so good in its own way.
Yeah, like they put the effort into making this movie, but they also didn't take themselves seriously.
Correct.
Because you can't take this movie seriously. If you go into this, if you're watching this movie thinking you're going to get a serious, well-made movie, you're not going to enjoy it. If you go into making this movie thinking you're making a serious zombie movie, you're going to botch it.
Mhm.
And that's what they managed to accomplish is it's not, they don't take it serious. And if you don't take it serious, you're going to have a fun time.
That's the true B horror movie experience. That's Bubba Hotep. That's the and I mean it almost feels like wrong to say that Bubba Hotep's a B movie, but it is.
Yeah, it is.
And the one I always ask you about, the one where the guy was running around with the lawnmower, chopping through the undead. That is like the quintessential, in my mind, from my experience too. That is the B horror movie. I can't remember the damn name of it ever though.
Brain Dead, Dead Alive.
Yeah, that's the one.
The Peter Jackson
Where
one.
I kick ass for the Lord when the priest comes in and kung fu fights everybody. We can't wait to do that movie. But it sounds like that's what this is, and that's good. I like those. The backyard with your buddies and a 6-pack kind of B horror movie.
Yep.
Or when we were kids, it's in the living room with the chocolate milk at 1 a.m. B horror movie. It's good stuff.
It's laughing. Like, it's the kind of movie that you make your own Mystery Science Theater out of.
Yep. Oh, 100%. I can imagine them just tearing up the movie and laughing hysterically, especially just a lot of the scenes, like how they're the president's wigs and just how they look. It's just, it's bad, but it's like, okay, it's just over the top. Like if Carrot Top had like dyed his hair white, is how I can put it. That's how I would put like young Carrot Top when he had the hair all out. It's just dyed white, especially for Andrew Jackson. Just and Abe Lincoln, like you could just the makeup. It's just they're trying, and it's like I don't even know what they were doing with Abe. I don't know. He looked like Skeletor. Like I can't. Skeletor is the best way to put it.
In a world where they had more budget, Abraham Lincoln would have been played by DJ Qualls.
That would have been
Because that's who
Great.
that guy looks like.
Yes, he does.
Nah, I have no idea who that is. Who's DJ?
Okay.
Oh,
Road
DJ,
Trip.
did you say- Oh,
You ever-
nope, got him.
you remember
the nerdy
Fred-
pot smoker one?
Yeah.
You're all brain, not
the
enough
French-
cock and balls is the line, I think, in the movie.
He's the one with the French toast.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't like powdered
Perfect.
sugar.
perfect.
I'm trying to pull out another name. The guy that
Road trip.
Nate could have been played by blanking on the guy's name. I think he was in Workaholics, maybe.
I'm trying to think.
Carrot Top guy, the one with the curly hair.
Yeah.
2 guys from that show that I can think of. That's it. The one with like the amorphous face.
Adam Devine. Adam Devine is the name I'm trying to think of.
Oh,
Okay,
Adam
I know
Devine
who
would
that
have been a
is.
good choice. He was in Pitch Perfect. You guys seen Pitch
Uh-huh.
Perfect? He was okay.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Anna Kendrick. Is he in
Just-
it?
Just the cup scene. The cups,
No.
well, at all the scenes technically.
I remember the cup scene. She did that on a show too, where she would do the cups thing. Are we thinking of
That's
the
how
same
she got
thing?
the role.
Oh, cool.
Yep,
I did
that-
not.
She that's how she auditioned. They said, "Can you just do a song?" And she did her cup song, and they gave it to her. It's if you like a good comedy with music, it's worth the watch. I do enjoy it.
Pitch Perfect nails what it is. But if we should be talking about Pitch Perfect right now in the horror pod. Jeez.
But the Nate character is very much an Adam Devine type of character. That's sort of like capitalist goofball kind of
Yeah.
guy.
Makes sense. Now, Lincoln. How do they take care of Lincoln? Like, I mean,
You don't see it.
There's a golden opportunity.
Right.
They didn't have somebody sneak up behind him.
No, I can. Ultimately, they're all done in by the reversing of the ritual.
Aww.
You do see Nate walk out with the Lincoln hat on, like shit went down. You don't know what went down, but shit went down.
And half leg.
Oh God, I do not. I don't know how he's missing a leg. Like, okay, so you don't know either. All right, because you just see poor George just falling in the pits of hell, and then all of a sudden Nate's like, "I just lost a leg," and
They must have cut that.
spontaneous of just like him, like one legged. They're like, all right, well, the ambulance is here to a whole monologue of, listen, your insurance won't cover this. It's going to be $9,000 for the ambulance trip. And oh, by the way, to reassert the foot, it's going to be another $2,000. And oh yeah, the road, we got stuck. So we don't know how you're going to walk on that amputated leg, but we'll figure it out. We got it. We got it. Until the credits roll. And it's just like,
They're
what
making
else
a
can
big
happen to these
insurance joke.
characters?
They're
Oh,
making fun of our
100%.
awesome healthcare in the U.S.
Absolutely.
God, that's outstanding, though. I bet you $1 million they messed up something in that cut where he does lose the leg or whatever happens, that injury, and it was so egregious it couldn't make it into even this movie. They were like, we just got to get rid of it, but we can't get rid of the other 25 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
Oh,
We really like how the end came out, but this part where he loses the leg, it doesn't work.
can't do
I
it at
feel
all.
like what they should have done, I think where they were headed with it was George pulling his leg off because he's falling into the pits of hell, basically. And I was thinking maybe he grabs the leg. And I think they thought that later on, try to get a cut. It didn't work, like we're saying. Just the image, because they did a pretty good job at that with the ending, with the CGI on that. That I will say, for like a low budget film, they did a really good job. And it would have been cool to see a practical effect, the foot like ripping off, Angela saving her brother, making more
Yeah.
heroic for her, and showing like he was a bitch. Stupid bitch.
With the Evil Dead vibes,
Oh, God.
with the Evil Dead vibes, it almost makes me want to believe that the leg comes off and comes to life on its own,
It's
That would
just
be sick.
and they just couldn't accomplish it with the budget they had.
That would be kind of cool. At that point, I want to see the unedited or the director's cut. That'd be cool.
coming soon. Reelected.
I would imagine to see the director's cut of Reelected, you would have to know the director.
Yeah. And who is the director, by the way?
He
Oh my
is
God, I don't.
Max Radbill, who's also the writer. He's directed a few films. The Studio in 2010, Movie Palace 2015, which he was a writer to. El Poso in 2022. We'll always have Bleep in 2023, which were all shorts. The only other film he's directed and written is The Sisterhood of Girls Who Don't Date Me, which actually stars Marcus, the actor who plays Marcus, who's reprising that character from that movie in this movie, which is pretty
Okay.
cool. So it's like for anyone who loves the Fast and the Furious films, it's the Han situation, because he was in another film previously, I think in Japan, and that character was carried over into the Fast and the Furious franchise. So Radbill does the same thing for Marcus, is he has him in a comedy and then brings him over and kills him off in Reelected, which I did like Marcus. I like the character. He reminded me of Matthew Lillard, if we're going with it.
Uh-huh.
Very
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard. Just like just his motions and just he's pretty stupid in the film too, but it's like a funny stupid. Like you feel so bad for him. Like where he's Mary is like, Nate, if you don't do this, I'm breaking up with you. And I'm fucking Marcus. And it's like right in front of him. And he's just like looking up, like, I don't know what she's talking about. And then after the whole thing of him being nonchalant about it, he's like, wait, are you gonna sleep with me? She's like, no, never. He's like, all right. Like that's like that doofus, but it works out so well. So he's a nice foil to Nate too, because he's such good natured. He's a good natured character.
He's a very enjoyable, goofy, good at nothing character.
Yes.
To enjoy that.
So I'm going to state now, I am making it my life's mission to get in touch with Max Radbill and get a director's cut of Reelected.
All right. We have to touch base on this every episode we record after the next one, which we've already
Has
recorded.
to exist.
Yes.
Okay.
It has to exist, and I'm going to find it.
Okay. We just got to know if that there's 8 minutes of foot carnage that we're not allowed to see. Just release the tapes. We want to know about that and who shot Kennedy. I guess we found out about that. Nobody cares. It's my favorite part.
We care more about reelected. We want to see the foot, whether it's torn off. What?
It'd be cool if Kennedy came back and reelected.
I want there to be a Martin Scorsese 4-hour cut of reelected.
Oh my
Oh
God.
God,
The Irishman.
the
But
last
instead of the-
temptation of Christ. The
Oh
last
God,
temptation of
that's
the
another big
president.
one. We should do Just Jesus movies for like Lent. 4 episodes during Lent of Just Jesus movies. That'd be great.
I have Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
I mean, that's a
I'm
huge one.
sold.
That's Easter. Got Easter all over it. At least one
Yes.
Easter.
I also have Jesus Christ Total Douchebag.
Ooh, a little bit more spicy. That one might get
That's
the juices flowing there.
so if we're calling reelected B, Jesus Christ Total Douchebag is like Z.
Yeah.
So it's directed by this guy named Bills the Bub, who's from New Jersey.
Bill
Yeah, that's what he goes.
Bills the
Bills
Bub.
the Bub.
Bills above.
feels the butt.
He feels like a dude I would have run into at Chiller.
You probably did. He's there all the time selling his movies all the time.
Okay.
So I've run into him there. Randomly, we were at a Children of Bodom concert,
Oh, nice.
like 2015, and he was there. And Allison and a friend of ours saw him. And we're like, and he came over, plastered.
Nice. Love
And
to
just-
hear it.
Sweet.
Like half an hour of just like standing there talking, and we're like, all right, it's enough, Bill. We were just like acknowledging that you exist. So my friend and I go to the bathroom. We come back like 10 minutes later. He's still talking to Allison. And he's just on and on.
And that's the
he's like
first time
the
I
drunk-
fell
the
down the
drunk
stairs.
way. But like he's
You look like my daughter.
He's like an underground. He's like an underground metal guy too. Like he has I don't know if he still has it. It was on the Seton Hall radio station. He used to do a metal show on
Cool.
there.
That's cool.
Movies are terrible. I think I think he makes movies just so he can put naked women in them, so he can see naked women.
Probably. That tracks.
Yeah.
Like, that and to get his religious philosophies out there. Like I think that's all he's
I mean,
making
it seems like he
movies
does a
to
pretty
do.
good job with the title, letting us know what he's thinking.
Jesus Christ.
He got
Douchebag.
There is no subtlety in his titles. Here's another one called Dick Shark,
Oh, cool. I mean,
which is exactly what you think it is.
yeah, why not?
He's got a Ant Farm Dickhole.
Oh,
Again,
no.
exactly
Why?
what you think it
Why-
is.
What fever dream was that asshole having when he came up with that idea? No.
Oh,
Skills above. No.
that is hell right there.
Yeah, that's the
Bastard.
worst image I could have absolutely. And I just ate poop earlier. 42 minutes ago, I had poop. Ugh. It's just back there still too. I don't know if there's more poop coming.
It's what's
Um,
going on the cake.
All right. So I think we've got a pretty good handle on reelected. You guys seem like it was a good hang.
So before we wrap it up,
Mhm.
I'm gonna curveball you guys.
Curveball us.
What president would you least want to fight if they were reanimated?
I mean, we could say Abe Lincoln from Fight Club just to steal that line from him. Skinny guys fight to the death. The one I'd least want to fight, Teddy Roosevelt was a psycho. He would rip out his own rib and beat me to death with it.
Fair enough.
I would go with
He got
George
shot.
Washington because, Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy got shot and finished his speech. Sorry, I didn't finish on my Teddy gushing. All right. You said
No, you're good.
Washington?
Watch the wooden teeth just getting chomped. If like he goes for a bite, it's over. Just over. Nope. And an axe, he can't tell a lie. Nope.
That's true. He doesn't
He's
have an
old school.
axe.
He was in the front of a
Old
boat
school.
in the middle of winter. In the middle of winter, as Gillis, as Gillis has said, Shane Gillis has said, he was on a
Oh,
boat.
yeah.
He's crazy
Crossing the
motherfucker
Delaware.
crossing the Delaware in the middle of winter.
the British rightfully supposed that only a word would cross the Delaware River. And unfortunately for them, our future first president was on the other side of the river that day. Can't say that R word though, but you guys know. Oh man, he has a point though. Washington was a big guy.
I might go Taft.
Why Taft?
Is he would be a load.
It's true.
Oh yeah, he's big,
He
dude.
would be a load.
That's a lot of
to
body.
move.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
The human
all right.
Snorlax.
we could get into like decomposition and stuff, but I'm just gonna go with he comes out of the ground fat. That would suck. That would suck. Sorry, Ryan. Like we've played enough games where there's fat monsters.
I'm just thinking of Elden Ring. That's the big guys who roll those wretched skin
The Godskin
creatures.
nobles. Godskin nobles. That's who we're talking about.
I kind of envision him as the boomer from Left 4 Dead.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I can see that. Just
That works.
Yeah, the groan.
Good sound effect right there. We gotta save that one.
I also want to point out to you, just a Left 4 Dead note. You guys know who does some of the monster voices in that?
No.
Mike Patton, Faith No More.
Oh, okay.
Really? That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
How do you keep all this in your head? Your glorious brain, John. Don't know.
Dude, I don't know. I can't tell you what I did 2 hours ago, but I remember that stuff.
This stuff, it's the same reason why it finds you. It's destiny. It's fate.
It's important. That's all the important stuff, as I say.
That's
It
true.
is.
So those are the presidents that we would fight. Only undead versions, though. We only
Yes, yeah, no living
We don't wanna
presidents. They
fight
have
them.
to be has to be reanimated.
Just like I would play a pickup game against Obama or GW for that matter. Well, GW is looking a little green around the gills these days, a little puffy, but yeah,
Have a beer with him.
yeah. And I'd paint some pictures with him in his sunroom and have a beer. Talk to him about ponies. Be like, so what'd you really do in Yale? How many girls did he kill? He'd be like, hey, this is how you do the sun.
I just made a happy mistake.
Yeah. I'm in the skull.
Real
Oh.
shit.
He'd clap twice, and then sack would go over my head, and that'd be the end of me. But all right, so reelected, definitely a recommendation. That's definitely a
Excellent.
hard
Yes.
recommendation from the guys. And then we're gonna roll into our top fives.
All right.
John always
so
makes Ryan go first.
yes,
He's a bully.
I mean, no, he's not. It just
Aw.
rolls with it. It rolls with it. So I went with top 5 because this is a 4th of July movie. So what else can we watch on the 4th of July? So I went with this direction. There's a couple films I haven't seen, but I put it on the list because I want to see them and highly recommend them. And 3 that will definitely fit in the 4th of July mold. Number 5, I hopefully to see a smile from John's face, is Frogs from 1972. Though it takes place on the 4th of July, Frogs isn't searing satire, just goofy fun. Like the Bay and Jaws, George McCowan's 1972 creature feature tries to say something about humanity's mistreatment of Earth and the especially American logic behind the entitlement. But ultimately, all it achieves is a laugh out loud wildlife adventure gone wrong that's as entertaining as it is bewildering. Come for the promise of antagonistic amphibians, snakes, lizards, spiders, alligators, and more. Plus, stay for a young Sam Elliott and Ray Milland overreacting to the heart's content. It's pretty entertaining. It seems entertaining. I got my curiosity. Yeah. I see it. I see the smile.
Frogs rules,
Yeah.
man. Frogs rules, man. Like you just hit one of my soft spots in movies is the animal attack. Love animal attack movies.
I have to ask you if you've seen that Parasite, John, the Korean movie, Korean mini kaiju movie. That's kind of that ilk. We'll chat
Mhm.
about that.
Mhm.
But what were you saying, Ryan?
I was gonna say we definitely have to put Frogs on our list. If it's not on this list for this year, definitely next year, because just the poster of a black and white frog just in your face. You're either scared or having a Homer Simpson after he licks the toad and goes on that trip. One of those modes. Number 4, I went with good old Uncle Sam from 1996.
Was wondering where it was gonna fall.
Number 4, it's one of those films that's always escaped me. I've never seen it on TV. I remember trying to rent it at was it Captain Video in Yorktown Heights? Trying to rent it there, and my mom kind of like putting that down, like, oh, just watch Star Trek. I mean, I'm cool with Star Trek, but I want to see some slasher gore sometimes. So I know it's a slasher film. Guy dressed in like Uncle Sam or reanimated Uncle Sam. I It's always got my curiosity, so definitely recommend that. Is he reanimated? Is he a killer? I mean,
I won't give too much away because it is a little bit of a reveal.
okay.
And
See, I like that though, but that's what makes like good, as we were talking about even episodes before, good 80s and 90s
Yeah,
slasher films. Um,
I'm pretty sure I put that on our list for this year. I'm pretty sure that's our 4th of July movie.
yes,
nice.
I can't wait. After 31 years of wanting to see this film, I'm finally gonna see it. I'm stoked for it actually, because it's like I said, it's always gotten away. Number 3, I said The Purge, Ethan Hawke, the first one. It fits the whole motif of like America, basically a dystopian America, so to say, with the idea of killing people in a 24-hour time limit. The first one's excellent. It's a great thriller, edge of your seat, and Ethan Hawke kicks ass. I love Ethan Hawke. I think he's a great actor. Very underrated. Um, I feel in some things. Training Day, definitely great role. Number 2,
Sinister, by the way.
oh,
Just to throw that bone
Sinister,
out there.
yes.
Yeah, he played
Yes,
a
he was in
douchebag
Sinister.
who gets wrecked. Sinister was one of the last great contemporary horror movies I think I've seen. But one of the ones where Kim and I were in the parking lot of the movie theater afterward, and we were like sitting there, like, whoo, staying under a streetlight kind of thing.
So you brought Ethan Hawke up. This afternoon I saw a video of him talking about how he turned down Independence Day because he thought it was too
Was he
goofy.
supposed to be the
He-
white
he
friend
had
of Will
this
Smith,
script.
Harry Connick Jr.?
He was Will Smith.
No. That movie would
That
have
would've
been
been
significantly
such a
Yeah, I
better
different
that
movie.
movie without Will Smith, though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I forget. I don't remember. It's not the Welcome to Earth. It's the ET line. He got to that in the script. He was like, "This is just gonna be stupid," and he said he threw it out the window of his car driving down the highway in Texas.
I bet you he was shitting
So a year
bricks
later,
when it was about to come out, and they put like a $2 million ad campaign out. No, he wasn't.
even then, he says the moment he regretted it was when he was sitting in a crowded theater watching it, and that line comes on, and the whole place exploded for that line. He's like, "Oh man, I screwed up."
Yes, he did. But I don't think he could have delivered it like Will. That was peak Will Smith.
No, it wouldn't
too.
have been the same
That was
movie.
Bad Boys Will Smith. You're not gonna get anything better for that role. That
No, it
movie's
would have been a
terrible
very different movie.
It really is a terrible movie. But it's so terrible, it's super good. There's a great I've got to give credit to this guy, as a YouTuber who does a great review of Independence Day. He's a movie reviewer in general, but he does Independence Day. And he self-admits he was like 12 when he watched it and he loved the friggin' movie. And I was about that age too when I saw it. And he brings up all the perfect points about it. Is just how horrible it is, but how great it is at being horrible. And the special effects that don't hold up at all.
It's a perfect summer movie.
Yeah, agreed.
100%.
It is a perfect 90s summer movie.
Yeah, and the sequel is hot garbage. It's everything that was wrong with the movie times 10, and then nothing that was right with it.
I saw the sequel.
Sorry, Ryan, we hijacked your
Yeah,
top
we
five.
did.
No, it's okay. I saw the sequel in theaters, and the only reason why we went to see the sequel in theaters was because before that they were showing the first one. Like it was a double
Yeah.
feature, so it was worth seeing Independence Day in theaters, and then the sequel just kind of just.
When they decided they were gonna have a queen, that was the part. I like how they get Bill Pullman's character. It's like they just murder him for no reason in the sequel. Now the shield's down. They're still gonna kill the bus full of kids, though. Bill Pullman's dead. Whatever. We don't care. He gave a great speech in the first one. We don't care now. Oh man, the whole shtick with him was that he like had mental illness because the alien had been in his brain, right?
Yep. Yes.
All them
They think he
tentacles
goes
up in his
crazy.
brain. Yeah.
And they bring back Brent Spiner Data basically after he dies in the first one. Yeah, he comes back after a coma. He died in the first film, but there was a lot of
Yeah.
shit off of that film.
They just stole the idea from Pacific Rim 2, where the dude becomes
Yes.
evil because the kaiju's in his head. That's dumb. Stupid. Just let it. Independence Day. And there is no sequel. But anyway, sorry, Ryan. Let's keep rolling with your top 5.
That's all good. Speak about sequels. We're gonna be like number two in this top 5 list. Jaws,
Oh.
1975. I feel like it goes with if you're looking for 4th of July, whether it's horror, thriller, Jaws goes with it, and it's got my 3 favorite R's: Roy Schneider, Richard Dreyfuss, and especially Robert Shaw. That man, love Robert Shaw since seeing him in From Russia with Love, starring Sean Connery as James Bond, as he portrayed Red Grant, the evil assassin for Spectre. I'll go on a whole James Bond rant. I love old James Bond films. And number 1, John is definitely going to smile because it's The Return of the Living Dead, 1985.
okay.
It's right before the
Quit
4th of
buttering him up.
July.
What is it, his birthday? Jeez.
Well, yes. Well, most of the films that are connected that he loves is connected to the 4th of July, and it's all those zany films. Like, most of the time you see these B-movie films or even, like, films that, like, have that zany horror, it's always in the summer.
Mhm.
Even the Friday the 13th or The Burning, even if it's trying to be serious, it's got that fun zaniness because it's summer, it's fun. They try to do that in the winter, but it's dreary, of course. But what do you got, big guy? I gotta see what your list
Yeah.
is.
That's John's top 5.
My top 5. Top 5 presidents in horror movies.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, come on, Bill Pullman.
I took a few. Nope. I went with real life presidents or masks of real life presidents.
Oh, I know one of these already. All right, keep going.
And you think you know, but I didn't go with the obvious because it's not hard.
That's a true life intro right there, by the way. You think you know, but you have no idea.
Okay, so my number 5, I actually watched this afternoon because I hadn't seen it in forever, and it's as bad good as I remember it being. Horror House on Highway 5.
Horror House on Highway 5. What is that?
So college students are tormented by a psycho father in a Richard Nixon mask
Sweet.
and his 2 sons. And it's just bonkers.
Get ready for
stupid.
Tricky Dick.
Allison and I were just sitting on the couch laughing for an hour and a half at this movie.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah, and the extra long Nixon nose, just it's so bad, but so much fun.
Was
so fun.
was his back hunched over the entire time? Just
Yeah,
He was pretty vicious.
I'm sure. Nixon himself was also quite vicious. We all get bogged down by Watergate, but he had some gangster stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
he was a fucker.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was one of many fuckers that were around that time. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he legitimately did kill a bunch of people in that horror movie way. But moving on, let's hear about number 4.
Number 4, I feel like I've talked about before, but I'm talking about it again. FDR, American Badass.
What is he doing this?
I'm curious.
Ready for a new deal?
It's a retelling of FDR's life, starting with FDR contracting polio from a werewolf
Oh,
bite,
sick.
Okay.
I love it already.
and then becomes president, and he discovers that werewolves are running the Axis during World War II. Hitler's a werewolf. Mussolini's a werewolf.
Okay.
He's fighting werewolves.
This is the movie that should be far more known.
His supercharged wheelchair and it's Barry
There's
Bostwick as
another one. This is just
FDR.
Silver Bullet, but with world stage stuff. Supercharged
It's-
wheelchair.
Is Gary Busey FDR though? Is the question. Just
It's Barry Bostwick, man.
oh, Barry. Oh, wait, Barry. Oh, okay.
Barry
The
Bostwick.
Boz.
Barry Bostwick is FDR. And I'll spoil my favorite line because it's only 2 words. Fuck polio.
Nice. Well, I agree with those
Well,
2
of
words.
course.
though.
It's this rallying cry.
I was behind polio when they were going to use it to kill cancer. Then everybody got scared. Like, you're injecting polio into people's brains, you assholes. But it was working. Anyway, and it was working.
My number 3, Blood Diner.
Yes.
What president is in Blood Diner?
All right, it's a mask.
Okay.
Blood Diner is 2 brothers taking over a diner where the secret ingredient is people. And, they're cannibal ritual cult worshiping the goddess Sheetar. And early on in the movie, the brothers wear Ronald Reagan masks to off some cheerleaders.
That tracks.
Hold her down, Nancy. Reagan killing cheerleaders works perfect.
No,
yeah.
that tracks 100%. Doesn't even seem far-fetched. In fact, I'm pretty sure he probably ate their livers once a week to stay alive.
My number 2, I'm convinced, is like actual real life Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
That's a great
Oh,
one.
that is real
movie.
life.
That movie is phenomenal, though. Like, that's not a.
The book's really good too.
Yeah, you mention
They
every
say
time I
it's
do mention the
fiction.
movie being good, you say the book is great. You say it's fiction.
It's an
not.
autobiography.
It's not fiction.
Yeah, it's biographical. It definitely belongs in the nonfiction section. Listen, it's a pretty simple premise. Abe Lincoln is trained from a youth to hunt and kill vampires, and got the Civil War too.
You get it in the ilk of the Van Helsing movie. If anybody here's watched that, it kind of there's pangs of like the feel good mummy vibes when you watch the Van Helsing movie. It's good. It's not great. It's good, but it feels great, and I can't explain why. When you watch the Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter movie, it's very similar. You had a little Matrixy shit in there too, though. They get a little crazy with their special effects, but it's a good time. It's a good time.
And number 1 has come up already tonight.
Oh boy.
Number 1 is Bubba Hotep.
Nice.
Bubba Hotep.
Yes, I was involved in a reference of one of John's top 5 movies. Bubba Hotep's awesome. I have a copy of it around here with the short story in it. I mean, it's a novelette, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Joe Lansdale.
Yeah, Lansdale's my man. I've got the homage to him is over here. Where is it? This is my paperback copy of it. It is the Drive-In Multiplex.
Yes.
And these are all the
Nice.
authors that wrote stories to honor Lansdale. Some of them are the big name ones are interesting. Owen King's lands, which is good because I'm not a huge fan of Joe Hill, to be honest with you. But they're phenomenal. So yeah, guys.
So if let me just do the quick rundown. If you haven't seen Bubba Hotep, I don't know what's wrong with you.
A lot.
See Bubba
Yeah.
Hotep, directed by a guy we're going to talk about a lot in the next few weeks, Don Coscarelli.
Yeah.
But in a nursing home where a mummy has started to suck the souls of the residents, and it's up to an aging Elvis Presley, played by Bruce Campbell, and an even more aging JFK, played by Ossie Davis.
Okay.
They transferred his
It's
body.
just he's thinking with sand.
Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep.
That's a good list.
It is a good list, man. I'm glad that you chose that as the last one too.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Thank you for joining Xenomania, episode 8 on Reelect. Next week, we're gonna talk to you about Don Coscarelli's Phantasm, 1979.
We're gonna show you our phantasm.
There's gonna be a
And
lot
we're
of
gonna get
spheres.
arrested for it. Yeah, definitely gonna get arrested for it. Later, guys.
Deuces.
See ya.
Be very